Well, the big quarterback news of the day, as we're recording this on Monday, April the 24th, is Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the New York Jets. And let me say this, Mark. Thank God. All right, finally, this thing is over. We can get into the details. I think Adam Schefter reported first-round pick swap here in this upcoming draft, a second-round pick in this draft, a sixth is involved, and then a conditional second that could pretty easily turn into a first in next year's draft. So essentially a first, a second, and a late-round pick for Aaron Rodgers going from Green Bay to New York. I'm just glad it's over with. I mean, whether you think it's a adequate haul, whether you think it's not enough for a guy like Aaron Rodgers, I'm glad. Number one, he's out of the NFC, so I don't have to think about him much anymore and all of his offseason workings and majestic references and everything that he's involved in. Number two, I'm glad he's going to a city that will hold him accountable for every single dumbass remark that he makes in the future, and that is New York City. So he's going to be in Gotham, he's going to be with the Jets, and he's in all likelihood going to have an early playoff exit if they even get there because the AFC is stacked.
Yeah, where do you think the Jets finish in the AFC East? That is quite the division now because you got Buffalo, Miami. I think most people expect both those teams to be playoff teams. And then you have the Jets and the Patriots. The Patriots might finish last in that division as well as it sounds.
This might be a hot take, but I think the Jets are going to finish last.
Okay. I mean, they have a ton of talent outside of the quarterback position. I agree with you that we really, I mean, I personally don't know how confident I feel about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what he has left after how bad he was this most recent year. But I mean, even with pretty abysmal quarterback play last year, they were competitive and they were vying for a playoff spot late in the year. And they should be better considering most of their good players were very young and should continue to get better. I think the Patriots are almost a lock to finish last in that division. I'd be surprised if they don't.
This is 100% my belief in New England and my disbelief in the franchise that is the New York Jets. It has absolutely nothing to do with football and X's and O's. You're 100% right. Everything about the Jets, look, they're going to get their running back, who was a high draft pick a couple of years ago. They're going to get him back. Garrett Wilson's coming off a magnificent rookie campaign. He's got a real quarterback now. Breece Hall, thank you very much. Sat at Iowa State and Brock Purdy. They have a great defense. They have a really smart head coach. Of course, everyone knows about Robert Saleh from San Francisco. I just think that the New York Jets are one of those franchises that would make this kind of move, that would give up whatever they did to get a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, quietly wasn't really good that last year, and now are just going to flame out spectacularly. That is more so what I'm betting on than Aaron Rodgers being a good quarterback or a bad quarterback.
I don't blame you for that. That's fair. The other thought I had, again, I really don't care about Aaron Rodgers that much, so my thoughts are really elsewhere. Is Jordan Love a top 10 quarterback in the NFC? What do you think? Because there aren't very many options.
No, that's a good question. And
did I say Bryce Young? I meant Jordan Love.
No. Yeah, no. You said Jordan Love.
Okay, I don't know where my mind's
actually,
going.
I had a question written down of where does Brock Purdy now fit in the NFC because I don't think Aaron Rodgers was better than him over the last 8 weeks of the regular season, but there's one less quarterback in the NFC now, and outside of Jalen Hurts, it's pretty much a free for all.
Who's the best quarterback in the NFC North now? Jared Goff? It's got to be
unequivocally
right? Over Kirk Cousins, huh?
Kirk Cousins stinks.
No, there you go. You said it. Let's go.
No, he doesn't stink. He's fine. I mean, Kyle Shanahan wants him, right? So wants him more than Trey Lance.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan's doesn't have a great track record with his quarterbacks. I mean, let's be honest at this point.
The ones that play do.
I mean, no, we're opening up a can of worms now is what's going on.
Relative to what the rest of the league thinks about them, I feel like he's done a pretty good job.
True, but identifying talented quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. Well, but I mean, okay, Kirk Cousins doesn't really count as like he's already, there's a body of work to kind of go off of there.
Fair enough. But
I mean,
I don't know.
I think if Kyle Shanahan could have Kirk Cousins for the price of Brock Purdy, he might be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. Who knows?
He probably would be. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I don't want to experience that. I'd rather go
Jimmy
out with
G experience 2.0.
One-armed Brock Purdy. Give me that, please.
Yeah, they had Brock Purdy throw left-handed, one-legged instead of Kirk Cousins. If you're Marc Grandi, this
By the
guy
way,
can't stand him.
did you see Brock Purdy at the Giants game last week?
No, but my little brother was at the game, and he was actually sitting in the same section as Brock Purdy behind
Wow.
him. And so when Brock Purdy got up and did the wave strategically with his
Right
arm,
arm.
yeah, my brother was saying everybody went crazy, and it was like an absolute bonanza. And
I'm definitely reading into just a simple wave way more than I should, but I don't know. That elbow looked pretty good.
did you see that full range of motion, Marc? I mean,
What?
102%
What?
ROM. No, I mean it was pretty cool, but I think it reflects more on like I was surprised that he got a standing O, number one, and then they threw him on the big board and shouted him out. So that was pretty neat. I don't know if Trey Lance gets the standing O because I think he went to. I know the Giants are a little bit different than the Warriors, but I think Trey Lance was at a Warriors home game in the regular season, and they threw him up on the big board, and there was a hey, Trey Lance in the building, and hey, what's up, and how's it going? It was wearing an Oracle Legend shirt, which was pretty cool. Shout out to the other side of the bay. But if that's Brock Purdy, ooh, I don't know. Might have 20,000 rocking.
Maybe. I've got one final thing. We're kind of just jumping around to a bunch of different things here before we do say bye. I know we talked about this off air a little bit earlier, but I wanted to bring this up because it's just such a great quote. What Steve Keim recently said Nick Bosa told him during their draft process.
Yeah.
You remember this? Steve Keim, the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, the old general manager, not anymore. When they drafted Kyler Murray, they had the number one pick that year. Nick Bosa was a prospect as well. The Niners ended up getting him, of course. He's told this story, Steve Keim did, where they went out to dinner, he and Cliff Kingsbury, then the head coach of the Cardinals, with Nick Bosa before the draft. And at the end of the dinner, Nick Bosa kind of pulls them aside and says, quote, I think you guys are probably going to end up taking that little quarterback. He's talking about Kyler Murray. And he says, and if you do, Steve, I will haunt you for the rest of your career. Talk about just a mic drop line. I can't believe that wasn't enough to get the Cardinals to draft him. My goodness, what a line from Nick Bosa.
Well, he also followed through because Keim is no longer the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, so he literally haunted him for his entire career in Arizona.
He did. He kept to his promise. Appreciate it, Nick Bosa.
And he's going to continue to haunt the Cardinals should he stay healthy. We certainly hope so. We hope that you'll tune into our next episode of the 415ers that'll be coming to you on draft day, Thursday, NFL draft. I know we didn't get into a ton, but we talked about it off the top and the reason why. Of course, John Lynch, shout out to you for giving us some material today, some content that we always appreciate on the 415ers. But that'll do it for this episode. That is Marc Grandi. I'm Evan Giddings. We'll talk to you on Thursday for our second episode this week. As always, we're brought to you by the Odyssey Sports Podcast Network with 95.7 The Game. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll talk to you next time.